Hi Facebook. So I will not be looking at the camera, but I have to get this message out because I've been thinking about it for the past couple days, which is this: the people that love you the most will hold you back. Now, it was something that I thought about because there were people that I've trusted, there are people that I dearly love, and I've thought about all the situations, whether it was a job, whether it was a family member, whether it was a friend, of people putting their beliefs onto you because they want to hold you back. And it's not always an ill intent. Usually it never is. It's because they love you so much. So I thought about when you have children, right? You have children, and I know that with my first child, I was so freaking stingy. Like, not even kidding. I would count the minutes you were holding my child. Like, all right, it's been 5 minutes, give her back. And I would ask for her back. And just lately I've been thinking about, I had all these situations where I really had to question my own intuition, question friendships, question family, question people who I thought, I really did think, because they had given me so many opportunities, who wanted to see me win. But some people don't want, it's kind of like the quote that says, people want to see you do better, but never better than them. And I just want to share that a lot of times these things are with love. It's with love because they do love you. And we like to get in this jealousy thing, and that's a whole nother realm of negative thinking that doesn't serve you. What serves you more is to say, this person does care about me. And it's a lot of times what people project on us is always about them. All the time it's about them. And I had so many opportunities to witness this in my own life and to really ask myself some serious questions, because when you take on the beliefs of other people that you can't do it, it might be a parent. Here's an example. Maybe you're someone who's graduating from high school, and your desire in your heart, because nobody knows what's in your heart. And the problem in life is that we too often don't follow it, and we only follow it, hopefully we do, when we're pushed into circumstances that require us to. Hey, Denise. So let's say you want to move to California, and your mom and your dad, they're like, California has so many earthquakes, you'll be close to Compton and the shootings and blah, blah, blah. It's unsafe. And they'll give you the rundown of why moving to California is something you should not do. Now, let's think about this. They love you. They do. They love you, but they don't know what's in your heart. And what's in your heart is that you need to move. You want to live in California. You desire to live in California. When you think about it, it lights you up, right? And the problem with life, the biggest problem with life, is too often we constantly deny our hearts, because when you live by your heart, you let your soul step in. We deny our intuition. We think people think I'm incredible because I know things, because I have wisdom, but it's because I've made some really tough decisions to ignore the things that people say to me and to pursue my dreams, to ignore the situations and the circumstances and to pursue my faith, to ignore other people's beliefs on my life and to pursue what's in my heart, right? That's the difference between many people. And it really comes down to that. And too many of us don't listen to that, and we get undefeated. But I just want to share with you that people, I see this in jobs where people, they'll let you rise, but not better than them, right? And you have to really question yourself, because sometimes we have such a loyalty, which is a great thing, to people that give us jobs, people that give us opportunities, that we internalize it and we fear being better than them. We fear rising above them. We fear quitting that job, releasing that loyalty, deal with. I'm not saying this, I'm not talking about these things because I don't experience them. It's because I do experience them, and I've had to really take a tough look at life and the decisions that we make and the decisions that we don't make and why we don't make those decisions. And I want you to really sit back and think, how are you playing small to meet the demands of the people in your life? Whether it's your job, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your friends, right? Because a lot of times we do have deep desire and needs to fit in, right? You go back to tribal days and people, you had to fit in as a form of survival, right? If you were outcast from the tribe and required to live on your own, you probably would die. That's a fact, right? So we have to really, really look at ourselves in the mirror and ask ourselves, if we are not happy, who have we given our power to? Why have we avoided our own intuition? Why have we avoided our own compass? People ignore their internal compass and find other people who live their dreams extraordinary. That's not true. It's not true. You find them extraordinary because you are just too simply afraid to do it yourself, right? And until you experience those experiences, take your power back, that's when you'll understand. That's when you'll truly start to trust your heart, because I only have trusted my heart, my soul, my intuition, God, because of the things that I have witnessed, because of the rash decisions that I have made. Like being held hostage, I said, you know what? I'm gonna die today, and I'm okay with that. Why am I okay with that? Because the other side of saying, giving into this situation, as irrational as it was, would have provided me with safety. I would have had the most luxurious things that life could provide. I would have had as much money as I could ever want in the world, with there never being an end, right? I would have had all the things that happiness cannot buy. Not happiness cannot buy, but the things that we desire. Right? We desire money, we desire luxury, we desire these things, and sometimes we'll turn our backs on our own GPS, on our own intuition to feed into these things. And I said no. I said, you know what? If I die today, I will die with my pride. If I no longer live, I will die with a smile on my face, because I am not willing to sell my soul for what I know to be true. I grew up in chaos. I could have easily accepted that situation, turned my back on my GPS, and allowed myself to have kids by this man, to go through a number of experiences with this man, and deny who I was. Because I had already done it with him. I had already played that role for over 3 years, denying who I was. And that conversation changed as a teen, you guys, from why does he do this to me to why do you do this to you? And that's powerful, because you take your power back, and too often we give it to other people. And I started taking my power back at a very young age. So I share this with you because too often we are just giving away our power. We give away our power, and we don't want to accept the decisions, the accountability that comes with following our heart, because it's so much easier to live on autopilot. It's so much easier to wake up every day, go to work, to the job you hate, to be around the people who, the people, your family, they love you, but they will tell you some shit. Not all people are going to encourage you to follow your dreams because they're too afraid to follow theirs, and it's not personal. It's so not personal, and that's something that I learned through self-love. It's not personal when people don't support us. It's not personal. It's personal to them. It's not personal to you. You shouldn't be heartbroken because people don't support you. You have to recognize that even with love, when people don't love themselves, they'll walk up to you and tell you how shitty you look. They'll walk up to you and tell you, that dress just doesn't really look nice on you. Because it's not personal. It's not about you. It's about them. So today, I ask you to question your own happiness. I ask you to really, really look in the mirror. For those of you that are willing to take that harsh look in the mirror, because a lot of times we want to look at other people, point our fingers, the government. You know, we want to make excuses to why we can't be who we need to be. None of it is true. None of it is true. Whether your excuses are the greatest thing you can ever make up, and a lot of times defining beliefs, this is what a defining belief is. It's so steeped in evidence. You have evidence for it. People are untrustworthy, right? The government's trying to kill us all. You know, all this crap. It's just crap. Even if you have evidence for it, you're using it as your crutch to not be successful. You're using it as your crutch to stay in your position. You're using it as your crutch to just be where you're at, because that's more comfortable. We don't like to be uncomfortable. Think about it, you guys. We don't like to be uncomfortable. If somebody said, I'll give you $1 million, but you have to go live in Antarctica with no clothes, you have to figure it out. You wouldn't do it. As much as you love $1 million, you're not going to do it, because most of us do not build ourselves in that way. Don't build ourselves in a way that allows us to get really freaking uncomfortable, and understanding that being uncomfortable is simply a part of life. It's a part of life. You can't change it. You can't run from it. You can't try to maneuver it, and that's what we all try to do. We all want to be freaking comfortable in our little blankies and living life without consequences of making some really important decisions. And that's okay, because we'll continue to just be unhappy, and that's your choice.